Go ahead, have some wine with that cheese. Drinking wine in moderation has many health benefits. Today I will discuss some of those with you and dispel some of the myths of drinking wine. Let's get started. Wine can have a very powerful effect and increase HDL. HDL, or high-density lipoprotein, or good cholesterol, absorbs cholesterol and carries it back to the liver. The liver then flushes it from the body. High levels of HDL cholesterol can lower your risk for heart disease and stroke. Your good cholesterol can be raised by 20% if used moderately and in the context of a healthy diet along with regular physical activity. Moderate consumption of wine, especially red, cuts the risk of colon cancer by 45%. The possibility of suffering a blood clot-related stroke drops by about 50% in people who consume moderate amounts of alcohol. Brain functions decline at a markedly faster rate in non-drinkers than in moderate drinkers. Moderate drinkers are 32% less likely to get cataracts than non-drinkers. Those who consume wine are 43% less likely to develop cataracts than those drinking mainly beer. Reduces heart attack risk. Moderate drinkers suffering from high blood pressure are 30% less likely to have a heart attack than non-drinkers. Lowers risk of heart disease. Red wine tannins contain procyanidins, which protect against heart disease. Wines from Sardinia and southwest France have more procyanidins than other wines. Moderate drinkers have a 30% less risk than non-drinkers of developing type 2 diabetes. Lowers risk of stroke. The possibility of suffering a blood clot-related stroke drops by about 50% in people who consume moderate amounts of alcohol. Moderate alcohol consumption in general is also thought to reduce blood clot formation and prevent artery damage when consumed in moderation. Moderate alcohol consumption may also reduce risk of stroke, heart attack, diabetes, and gallstones. Wine is healthy in moderation. So let's go ahead and take a look at the myths of wine drinking. Myth number 1, wines improve with age. Only certain wines may benefit from a few years of aging. Wines that have a good balance of acidity, a lot of tannins, and intense fruit flavor may well improve with age. Candidates include some red wines, including most of the better Cabernet Sauvignons, and some healthier white wines such as certain Burgundies and Chardonnays. But even a wine with staying power will typically improve for no more than 2 to 3 years from the vintage year that it is white, 3 to 5 years if it is red. After that, quality may actually decline. Myth number 2, white wines go best only with fish and fowl, reds with meat and spicier fare. A wine's color isn't always the best guide to the foods it will complement. It's a rule of thumb, but experiment. It's as important to focus on the meal's spices and sauces as it is its primary ingredients. As a rule, richer dishes go best with full-bodied wine, including most Cabernet Sauvignons and Zinfandels and many Chardonnays. Good choices for spicy foods include Pinot Grigios and semi-dry whites, such as a Riesling. Lighter fare generally pairs nicely with lighter wines, including many bottles of the red varietals, such as Pinot Noir, and white varietals, such as Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, and dry Riesling. Myth number 3, wines need special storage facilities. Wines can be safely stored in almost any home. A trend is now to store wine in a temperature-controlled cellar or custom refrigerator, but unless you're collecting very expensive wines, any spot in the house that is out of direct sunlight remains cool, less than 70 degrees Fahrenheit, at all times without temperature fluctuations will work. Most basements fit the bill. Store cork-filled bottles on their side. Screw cap bottles may be stored upright. Myth number 4, white wines should be served well chilled, red wines at room temperature. For reds and whites, ideal serving temperatures vary by wine type. To get maximum flavor from the bottle, rich white wines, including most Chardonnays, should be served cool, not chilled. Limit them to about an hour in the refrigerator. Only lighter wines, including most Sauvignon Blancs, should be well chilled, about 2 hours in the fridge. Longer, and they may become too cold. Lighter reds, such as Pinot Noirs, should be served cool. Only big reds, such as most Cabernets and Zinfandels, are best served at about 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Myth number 5, wine should be opened before serving to allow time for breathing. Not all wines improve when exposed to air, and wine in a bottle with an opening the size of a dime rarely improves. Opening a bottle a few minutes early does no harm, and certain wines will improve somewhat after they're exposed to air. but merely uncorking a bottle and letting it sit exposes too little of the wine to make a difference. The best way to fully enjoy a wine before you drink it is to swirl it around in your glass and sniff. And here are some final thoughts on the nutrition of drinking wine. There are about 122 calories in a 5-ounce glass of Merlot, which also contains 3.69 grams of carbohydrates, 0.91 grams of sugar, and 0.10 grams of protein, and no fat or fiber. Merlot also contains small amounts of thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and vitamin B6. Red wine has a number of potential health benefits when consumed in moderation. The Merlot varietal contains several vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. The antioxidants in red wine may have heart-healthy benefits, in addition to the possible health benefits of moderate alcohol intake in general. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.